This is how you can figure out God's purpose for you. God's purpose, calling, and gifts for you are wherever the enemy attacks you. In the area of your anointing is where you will be targeted. These intense battles reveal your callings. The enemy counterfeits your gifts, and the greater the attacks, the stronger the gift. Because the enemy recognizes your potential and power within that anointing, and he wants to hinder and destroy it. And we must not forget, his attacks are not random, they are strategic. So wherever you are called to serve, these may be the troubles and sins that you struggle with. The first one would be fear, and what is the opposite of fear? It is faith. So you may have the gift of great faith. And next we have physically or mentally ill. You may be a healer. Family chaos and generational trauma. You may be a bloodline breaker. Unworthiness. The enemy does not want you to ever believe who God says you are. Anger, which means you may be a justice carrier where you confront injustices. And you're actually a patient and compassionate person with a deep capacity of forgiveness. But the anger makes you hold grudges, and it makes you resentful and bitter. Astrology, horoscopes, or occult practices, you actually have a prophetic gifting that is meant for God's kingdom. But the enemy wants you to use your gift for his side and not God's. If you have demonic nightmares, you are called to dream prophetically. Smoking, you may be a worship and prayer warrior. The enemy is trying to silence you. Self-doubt, you are meant to influence, lead, and inspire. Lust, you have a deep capacity for intimacy or the covenant of marriage. The lack of self-control kills the soul. Obsession with appearance or body dysmorphia, you are meant to reflect God's glory, so the enemy's trying to get you to hate your own image. Greed, you may be a kingdom financer, but the enemy keeps you broke so that no one can be blessed with your tithing. Your generosity is depleted, and this goes with your time and talents because you want your fair share plus more. Generosity should not expect anything else back in return. Procrastination, you carry vision, ideas, and strategy from heaven. Your diligence is being destroyed by complacency. And then you end up denying God's will for the sake of your own comfort. If you suffer from backstabbing or a lot of opposition, you're most likely meant to have a leadership role. If you have a phobia with public speaking, it's probably because you're meant to have a platform for God's kingdom. Abandonment and fear of rejection, you have the spirit of belonging and reconciliation. You're actually meant to bring people together. I wanted to save this one for last because I know it's a big issue, but it's when you compare yourself to others. You're actually meant to speak purpose over others and rejoice in their gifts, talents, and accomplishments. But many struggle with giving other people credit because when they do that, they feel like they're discrediting themselves. And that can make you feel less than them. Pride is like the root of all other sins. The opposite of pride is humility. And humility is being able to see ourselves just as we are and not comparing ourselves to others. When we think of the very first sin committed, it was when Satan rebelled against God due to his pride. Humility is the foundation for learning and becoming self-aware. A refusal of learning is willful ignorance. A denial of self-awareness is irresponsible. There will be no growth or knowledge that you will gain. It says in the Bible that we are to be meek, and in biblical terms, being meek means you have humility and clarity. Ultimately, this is all for God's glory and to fulfill his purposes, which is why anointed and chosen ones are a threat to the enemy's kingdom and influence. God bless.